They're the four most beautiful and terrible words in Texas high school football: win or go home. It is the Texas high school football playoffs, and this is Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, a by-district playoff edition. I'm Greg Tepper, editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com, returning to her familiar perch after a long hiatus, including over in the score zone.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was odd. I felt weird, like I always have to look this way at you, but it was all the way across the studio.
It's Ashley Pickle, our executive producer here, and what a week to kick off the Texas high school football playoffs. Are you not entertained?
It's awesome. It's all right. Playoffs are always awesome. I understand that. I get that. This by-district round was incredible. I think there are some incredibly noteworthy teams that already were eliminated. I won't ruin all the fun. And I know some people were in my Twitter messages yesterday and DMs and all that stuff saying, well, yeah, those teams weren't as good as they typically are. And I'm like, I know. But those are the type of pedigree teams that typically turn it on in the playoffs. And even if they don't have the best regular season, you're looking at them going, okay, and no, they're out.
Yeah. We are with you for the next 90 minutes or so, bringing you highlights galore and updated brackets for all 12 UIL Texas high school football playoff brackets. You can go to texasfootball.com/playoffs for everything you need to know. So maybe you're wondering, hey, what are the Texas high school football playoffs? That's a cool thing to say if you're tuning into this show. Let's introduce you to the how the Texas high school football playoffs work, starting with Class 6A. The top four teams in each district qualify. When you take those four teams, the two largest teams by enrollment go to the Division I bracket. The two smallest qualifiers by enrollment go to the Division II bracket. All of it leads up to a six-week sprint to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. They will play their state championship games on December 20th. What about 5A, 4A, 3A, and 2A, the other 11-man classifications? Still, you have the top four teams making the playoffs, but those divisions are pre-split. We have 5A Division I and 5A Division II. Those teams are placed in their respective divisions brackets, 6 rounds leading all the way up to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, December 17th through 20th. And then our 6-man friends, Class 1A. How does that work? Only 2 teams from each district qualify. Again, they're pre-split, 1A Division I, 1A Division II, placed in their respective divisions brackets. It's only 5 rounds since there's fewer teams in the playoffs, all finishing at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, December 17th. That is how the Texas high school football playoffs work. That's how the world works, and that's what we're going to be breaking down over the next 90 minutes.
I see no problem with that.
It is a fun time of year to be a Texas high school football fan, and while we would normally take a break and reset, what if we just get into the stinking highlights? 6A Division I, we start. Allen taking on Louisville. Pick it up in the second half. Allen's leading 14-3, but Louisville threatening direct snap to Derek Martin. The jump pass to the big fella, Xavier Fleming. It's 14-9 midway through the third, and the Farmers are fired up. Fourth quarter now. Louisville driving after an interception. Trey Williams finds Trajan Mueller. What a catch. It's a 21-yard strike, and Louisville leads 15-14. But they say A up for a reason. Lyndon Spriggs caps a 16-play, 77-yard drive as Allen survives 22-15 against Louisville. We take a look at the 6A Division I Region I bracket. Midland Legacy wins a wild shootout over El Paso Franklin. It was North Crowley taking down Keller. Coppell shuts out Plano to move on to the area round. Richardson through to the area round. They get a nice win over Haltom, 35-7. It was Odessa Permian all over Haltom, 59-7. Mansfield Lake Ridge upsets Euless Trinity 47-38. That was a 4-seed over. That was a fourth place Mansfield Lake Ridge team getting there. We mentioned Allen. They will take on Lake Highlands, who took down South Grand Prairie 35 or 43-36. I had the scores. We're good.
No, I was impressed by the grit that Allen showed to be able to pull out that one against Louisville. It was shocking, though. That wasn't the dominating performance that we're used to seeing Allen have. Louisville almost had him right there, but wasn't able to pull it out. And then keep an eye. I'm very interested in that Coppell and Richardson game. Richardson's an 8-2 team. I mean, they are no one to mess around with, but Coppell just a dominating win over Plano.
Absolutely. What about Region 2?
How about we head over to Duncanville and Temple? The Panthers taking on the Wildcats. First quarter here, it's Duncanville. Jacorian Rivers in the shotgun, turns on and hits Zach Turner on the screen pass, who takes it up 28 yards to put the Panthers on the board. Still in the first quarter, this time it's the Wildcats on the ensuing drive. Champ Mayo is going to fake the handoff and go airborne to Raheem Brown from 7 yards out to tie it up at 7. To the second quarter we go, and it's Duncanville. Rivers here on the free play after jumping offside. And he's going to dump that one off to Trenton Yancey, who's going to show off the wheels. Panthers up 21-7. Into the fourth quarter we go, and it is Duncanville again. And guess what? They don't call him Ace for nothing. It's Anson Theus who takes a snap out of the Wildcat, shows off the speed to the end zone, 35 yards out. Duncanville extends the lead to 35-7. Finally, in the fourth quarter, Temple not giving up. Mayo in the jar, if you will. What a time. He absolutely lets it rip. 42 yards to Rodney Nelson between two Duncanville defenders. Duncanville would go on to win 35-14. We take a look at the 6A Division I Region 2 bracket. Rockwall Heath getting the win over Wiley East. They'll be facing Duncanville, aforementioned right there. The Woodlands cutting one out against Aldine Davis. Klein Collins with a massive win there over Bridgeland. North Forney showing off their talents against the Mustangs of Saxe. Waxahachie with a big win over Waco Midway. Conroe Grand Oaks took down Aldine Nimitz, no problem there. And then Cy Ranch with an impressive victory, shutting out Klein there.
Yeah, very impressive. The Woodlands, that game was Saturday, but they shut out Aldine Davis. And then keep an eye, I'm really interested in that matchup, the Woodlands and Klein Collins in the area round. Over to the other side of the bracket, Region 3 we go. Atascocita taking on Dickinson in one of the wildest games on Friday night. Let's go to the highlights of Atascocita taking on Dickinson. Dickinson operating out of the sugar huddle here. They're going to run to the line here. And using that quick snap against Dickinson or Atascocita, it's going to be Caleb Patterson stepping through a tackle and gets to the pylon. Dickinson on top early, 7-0. Bow to your sensei. Then more from Dickinson and more from Patterson. This time, jet sweep to the left. He will lower the shoulder and split a pair of defenders here, and he will go the distance, 49 yards. Patterson went for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dickinson back on top. But Atascocita would not go quietly. Carday Mack. What a star he has been all season long. Firing deep down the middle to Darius Williams, who hauls it in, makes a man miss, dives for the end zone, one of 2 touchdowns on the night for Williams. Atascocita not to back up at 14 apiece. Still in the first half, it's 37-27. Mack fires his dart to Brian Manuel for a 26-yard score. I told you this game was wild. Finally into the third quarter, it's 44-44 is your score. Dickinson quarterback Lorenzo Aguirre is going to launch deep to who else? Caleb Patterson running free for the score. In a game that featured 1,100 total yards, Dickinson would go on to win a wild one, 51-47 in an unbelievable game on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Staying in Region 3, let's go to, I think we had one more of Pearland Dawson and taking on Fort Bend Ridgepoint. And we got one more highlight there. You can see Fort Bend Ridgepoint wins this game in a wild one, 21-16. We can take a look at the brackets here. Cy Falls takes down Houston Bel Air. Cinco Ranch over Fulshire. We mentioned Fort Bend Ridgepoint gets the win over Galena. They will draw Galena Park North Shore. Houston Lamar takes down Cy Fair. Impressive for HISD. Strake Jesuit onto the second round. They beat Katy Pato. It was Pearland who will now meet in a battle of unbeatens with Dickinson. The aforementioned Ridgepoint and Pearland Dawson. Let's go to those highlights, see how that one played out. First quarter, it's going to be Ridgepoint running back Aiden Aikens going to plunge in for the score. Ridgepoint would go up 7-0. Then second quarter, Ridgepoint looking to extend their lead. DJ Darling is going to be on the other end of this Brody Barty pass. Beautiful pitch and catch there. It's 55 yards on the strike. Ridgepoint up 14-0. Then, staying in the second quarter, Ridgepoint looking to pull away. Watch this. Brody Barty looking, going to fire for the end zone, and Robert Haynes gets both feet inbound for the score. It's 21-0 Ridgepoint, right? Ball game over. Well, Pearland Dawson would not go quietly. This time, they're going to give the handoff here on the end around to Josiah McFarland. He will turn the corner, get in for 6. Dawson gets their first touchdown, cuts the lead to 21-10. Fourth quarter, Dawson's still threatening. This time, it's going to be Luke Brown. The quarterback, sneak, what can Brown do for you? He can make it 21-16, and suddenly, this is a ball game. Now, fourth quarter, Ridgepoint looking to salt it away, 40 seconds to go, but it's a fumble! It's a fumble! And Dawson's got the ball and a chance to take the lead and win it. 1 second to go. Luke Brown for Ridgepoint on the 2-yard line for the win. Looking, firing, incomplete. And Fort Bend Ridgepoint survives 21-16. in a game on Dave Campbell's text line. Let's take a look one more time at the Region 3 bracket. And you got, Fort Bend, Ridgepoint, Galena Park, North Shore is going to be spectacular.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, that's a second round game that realistically could have been all the way over there at the state semifinal games. And let me tell you, talking about games that could have been a state semifinal, when you were talking about that Dickinson-Atascocita game, I mean, we were potentially chasing a record-breaking game with how many points were being scored, but that was almost felt unfair for one of those teams to have to get knocked out in the first round.
What about Region 4?
We head now to Region 4. This is kind of that Austin, San Antonio mix here. Well, how about one of the biggest names in the bracket? We go Lake Travis taking on Round Rock in the by-district round. First quarter, Lake Travis is a senior quarterback. Luke McBride drops back and finds the short pass there to Harrison, who hits the spin move, puts up the stiff arm, makes a man miss, and takes it in 41 yards to Pater to tie us up at 7. Second quarter, it's Lake Travis again. Backed up in the end zone, McBride, with complete confidence in his offensive line, absolutely lets one sail. Drops the dime to senior Lark Siddle, who puts a 99-yard touchdown on the board to put LT up 14-7. Third quarter, Lake Travis again. This one is going to be found by senior wide receiver Weston Smith on the slant route up the middle. He shows off the speed, 60 yards in for another Cavaliers touchdown. Third quarter, Round Rock not going away, looking to add some points on the board, and they do that. That is Daniel Berry hauling that one in. Lake Travis would go on to win that one 41-14. As we take a look at 6A Division 1 in Region 4, Eli Reinhardt getting his first playoff win as a head coach there for the Hutto Hippos over Austin Bowie. San Antonio Johnson able to crank one out against San Antonio O'Connor. Cibolo Steel taking down Laredo LBJ. Weslaco in a big matchup down there in the RGV against San Benito. Lake Travis, the aforementioned win over the Dragons of Round Rock. San Antonio Brennan showing that they are a team to beat out of San Antonio, taking down Reagan. Laredo United pulling one out against Converge Judson. And finally, Los Fresnos getting another RGV win over Edinburgh Econometis.
That is the first time a Laredo team has ever beaten Converse Judson. That's a huge for the Laredo area, the South Texas area. We are now kind of getting into those Austin versus San Antonio matchups. Hutto, moving on to take on San Antonio Johnson, a team that I really like. And Lake Travis moving on to take on Brennan. So overall, 6A Division 1, I think the headline here, when you take a look at the overall bracket, the headline here is basically close calls. Yeah. I think Ridgepoint had a close call. I think Allen had a close call. Some of the teams didn't survive. I think Euless Trinity losing to Mansfield Lake Ridge is certainly an upset. But I think overall, it's survive and advance. Yeah, they don't ask for style points. They ask for the number in the left-hand column, and that's one they got.
No, absolutely. And if I have to look at the area around and see what games I'm looking most forward to, we mentioned it earlier, Fort Bend, Ridgepoint, and Galena Park North Shore, that is box office stuff. I think Pearland and Dickinson is going to be an incredible game. Kind of starting to see that power nexus there in Region 3.
Yeah, you got 3 undefeated teams there in Ridgepoint, Pearland, and Dickinson. All 3 have, in some cases against one another, big-time matchup. But yeah, Region 3 kind of coming to bear. That's 6A Division 1. Of course, TexasFootball.com/playoffs is where you can find everything for the 2025 Texas High School Football Playoffs. On to 6A Division 2 we go, where we will talk about a cross-regional matchup here between Cedar Hill taking on Killeen Harker Heights in first-round action. To Killeen we go with Cedar Hill taking on Harker Heights. Heights already up 10-0 when Hudson Humble is going to take the snap here. Play action. Throw it back to the man he faked to. Jeffrey Anderson wide open for the score. Harker Heights feeling comfortable at home, leading 20-0. Same score now into the second quarter here. And it's going to be Humble again. This time showing off his arm strength. Their play action. He's going to find Arshawn Span. What a grab, tumbling into the end zone. It's a 39-yard touchdown strike. 2-point conversion is good. It's 28-0 at the break. Second half now, Cedar Hill punching back. Direct snap to Jalen Brewster, who will surge through the line and into the open field. It's a 31-yard touchdown. The Longhorns are on the board. Then the Longhorns special teams would get into it. We only show special teams here for one of 2 reasons.
Turnovers or tutties.
That's exactly right. Harker Heights punting. They're going to punt the ball to Trenton Jones, who will drift back and field it before going 57 yards, nearly untouched for a huge punt return touchdown. That closes the gap to 28-14, but that's as close as they would get. Harker Heights through to the area round with a 28-14 win over Cedar Hill. To the Region 1 bracket we go to take a look at what everything looks like there. We'll take a look at Region 1. This game, or rather, that was That was in Region 2. We'll get to a Region 1 game here in a moment. El Paso Eastwood wins a wild one over El Paso or Wolfforth Friendship. Byron Nelson all over Mansfield. They get the win. Denton Guyer through the area round. They will take on Dallas Jesuit, who's a winner over Arlington Lamar. San Angelo Central takes down El Paso Pebble Hills. South Lake Carroll, no problem with Crowley in the first round. Prosper takes down Hebron. They pull away in the second half. And it was Richardson Berkner eking out a win over Arlington Bowie.
I'll tell you what, I was very interested in that Guyer Prosper Rock Hill game, and Guyer really just put them on him. But how about we talk about that Trophy Club Byron Nelson and Mansfield game as we go to the highlights here, and one that was one you didn't want to miss. And we go now to Trophy Club's stadium. In the first quarter, it's Byron Nelson, junior running back, McCavian Hill, 9-yard run into the Bobcats on the board. Then later on in the first, I promise this is not the same highlight, it's the same guy. Hill punches one on this one from 13 out to go up 14-0. Into the second quarter, it's Byron Nelson. They can't stop. They just keep putting on the pressure as Colt Pride hits Nolan Hawkins up the middle of the field, 28-0. And a light show. How about that? Fourth quarter, Mansfield doesn't want to not score, and they get this one done. It's sophomore running back Raymond Weaver. The Bobcats would be too much, going on to win 42-14.
That's another look there at Region 1. You see Byron Nelson getting the win. They will go through to take on El Paso Eastwood. Let's go to Region 2 and take a look at what the bracket there in Region 2. You see there with Longview getting a win over Rowlett. They are through to take on DeSoto. That is a regional final rematch there in the second stinking round. It was the Woodlands College Park taking down Aldine Eisenhower. Cy Lakes upsets Magnolia in an impressive win there. It was Forney taking down Naaman Forest. We mentioned Harker Heights gets the win over Cedar Hill. Willis stays alive with a win over Spring Westfield, and it was Tomball taking down Waller in one of the premier games of the weekend.
I'll tell you what, Longview looked impressive in that win over Rowlett. Their run game, that looked like a stereotypical Longview run game. It was just masterful.
Let me tell you something. Longview DeSoto is a matchup of teams that when they hit their ceiling, they are hard to beat. And both teams definitely in first-round matchup to hit their ceiling.
And Tomball having a really, really, really good win over Waller there. Waller, a team that we're not used to seeing in the playoffs this far, but Tomball really, really put it on them. Now we're heading over to 6A Region 3. We take a look at the bracket here. Houston Memorial able to squeak one out over Houston Wisdom. Katy having no problem over Richmond George Ranch. Fort Bend Hightower taking the loss to Manville, who will continue on to the area round. Summer Creek, no problem with Clear Springs. Houston Stratford getting a big win over Houston Heights. How about Katy Jordan over Richmond Foster? And then we round out our final area pairing. It'll be Alvin Shadow Creek after their win over Fort Bend Bush, and Shelton C.E. King had no problem with Clear Falls.
The couple of things to note. Houston Memorial and Katy now in the second round of the playoffs. Something to note. The head coach of Houston Memorial is Brooks Hack. He played quarterback for Katy coach Gary Joseph. That is going to be fun to watch. You mentioned Shadow Creek and C.E. King is going to be a lot of fun as well. Summer Creek, no problem in their win over Clear Springs.
We take a look now going into Region 4, and arguably, probably not arguably, the game everyone was like, how in the world is this a bi-district game? It's a game between two teams that both made it to AT&T Stadium just this past year. It's Austin Vandergrift taking on Austin Westlake. First quarter, Westlake going ahead and punching that one in. Sebastian Hanault punches it in from the 1 yard out. Then second quarter, Westlake again. This time, quarterback Reese Wise says, "I'll take that, thank you," from 3 yards out to make the score 14-13. Second quarter, Vandergrift's like, okay, hang on, we can do this. Vandergrift looking to find the end zone for the first time, and they do. Sam Brown punches that one in. The extra point would be good on this one, making it 14-10. Skip all the way to the last play of the game, and it is to win it. SMU bound Wiley Olson cranks one out from 36 yards as time expires, as Vandergrift goes on to shock Austin Westlake and knock out the Shaps in the first round for the first time since 2014. Congratulations to Drew Sanders and his Vipers. They will be taking on San Antonio Brandeis after their win over Sotomayor. Then San Marcos. If you're not paying attention to the Rattlers, now's time to start. They get a big win there over Eagle Pass. Edinburgh taking down Brownsville Veterans Memorial. Then Dripping Springs able to get it done against Vista Ridge. They'll have an area round matchup against San Antonio Harlan, who defeated San Antonio Madison. And finally, we rounded out there in Region 4 with Medina Valley getting a massive win over New Braunfels Canyon and Harlingen able to take down La Jolla.
Yeah, very impressive there. Dripping Springs, no problem with them. San Antonio Harlan through the second round. That's going to be a must-see matchup there between Dripping Springs and Harlan. Also interested, for Vandegrift, that win over Westlake, the road continues to be tough. I think it's a good Brandeis team they're going to have to deal with in the second round, a team that is buzzing with confidence after narrowly squeaking by San Antonio Sotomayor. So let's take a look at the overall 6A Division II bracket and some overall looks here. I am absolutely fascinated to see exactly some of these second round matchups. I think that Prosper and Richardson Berkner has a chance to be really fun. The Woodlands College Park has been one of the stories of the year. Really spectacular job by Kyle Coates. I think he's on the short list of being the 6A Coach of the Year. They will have their hands full this week against a Cy Lakes team that, again, is brimming with confidence. And then over in Region 3, we mentioned it. Houston Memorial and Katy, the storylines kind of write themselves.
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw it out again. Region 4, I really think, obviously all eyes you start to look at, likely the favorites being Austin Vandergrift and Dripping Springs, but keep an eye on what San Marcos has been doing. Obviously back this year, a full season after being removed from the playoffs last year, they're looking to make a lot of noise.
I'll also tell you this. I think all 4 of the games in Region 2 are going to be a lot of fun. Longview DeSoto, obviously, a regional final matchup. We mentioned College Park and Cy Lakes. Forney and Killeen Harker Heights is going to be a whale of a ball game. And then Willis and Tomball. Tomball, playoff Tomball is a problem, guys. They now get a chance to take on Jermaine Bishop and the Willis Wildcats.
And what's funny, all of those could be super high scoring or super low scoring, and you really don't know.
Yeah,
every single one of them. All right, there you go. It is 6A Division 2. We're going to take a quick break here and get right back to it.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Yo, these Katie's are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can go all pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Baylor Scott & White Health.
And we welcome you back in to Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, your home for the 2025 Texas High School Football Playoffs. No time to waste. Let's get into it. In 5A Division 1, we go to Region 1 in an absolutely absurd game between Amarillo and El Paso El Dorado. First quarter, Amarillo already has the score when El Paso El Dorado looking to answer, and it's Bryson Booth who will let this one sail to Rashawn Bryan. He catches that in the fingertips like an ice cream cone, takes it in 62 yards to tie the game up at 7. Second quarter now, El Dorado coming back after a pair of touchdowns from Amarillo, and senior Tate Blackwell in stride down the sideline. He'll take it 82 yards to extend the Sandys' lead into the second quarter. It's time for El Dorado to try to start cutting this deficit down when the man with the plan, it's Ryan Estrada, you've heard the name, would do what he does best. He goes 70 yards for the score, and El Dorado starting to get back in this game. Fourth quarter, clearly there was a lot of scoring here. 49-42, Booth would take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Estrada with the reverse, and it is Jadarius Sanders who will cut back up the middle and go 90 yards to the house, which would tie it up and go on to be one of the most insane by-district comebacks we've seen as El Dorado goes on to win it 77-76. 153 points scored in this one after Amarillo had to forfeit 6 games earlier this week, then win a game, count on someone else to lose a game, to then go to a gas station parking lot, do a 3-way coin flip just to get bounced in the first round.
And to play the second highest scoring UIL 11-man playoff game ever. El Paso El Dorado through to the second round. They will take on Richland, who took down Fort Worth Wyatt. It was Abilene taking down El Paso Bel Air. They get a date with Denton Ryan, who's all over Saginaw Chisholm Trail. Aledo, no problem in the first round with Saginaw. They will take on Amarillo Tascosa, who put 84 on El Paso Parkland. It was Fort Worth Arlington Heights getting a win over White Settlement Brewer, and Lubbock Monterey takes down El Paso Americas 50-32. That's Region 1. On to Region 2, where we will go to Midlothian ISD Stadium to watch Midlothian take on Georgetown Eastview in a cross-regional matchup. Panthers get a start early. Justin Roberts, play action strike to Brendan Jackson, slips a tackle, goes 27 yards from the score. Midlothian up 7-0. Panthers up 16-3 at the break. Third quarter, Eastview will punch back. Watch this cut from Aquavius Marbury. 8-yard score at 16-12. Eastview still trails, but Midlothian would keep on pounding. Now up 29-10. Francis Hamisi is going to fake out everyone, including the cameraman. Taken in for a 12-yard touchdown run. Midlothian in firm command. Then Eastview would go out on their shield, though, in the form of Javian Clater. This touchdown burst goes 75 yards. He led all rushers with 146 yards, but it's not enough. Midlothian moves on to the area round with a 36-16 victory over Georgetown Eastview. Let's take a look now at the Region 2 bracket. Frisco Lone Star takes down Georgetown in impressive fashion, or rather takes down North Mesquite in impressive fashion, 49-6. It was Georgetown all over Burleson Centennial, 42-12. West Mesquite edges past Frisco, 48-24. They will draw Midlothian. Highland Park, no problem with Lake Belton in the first round, 56-13. They will get Frisco Reedy in a really interesting matchup at the Star next week. Frisco Reedy beats Carrollton Creekview 24-3. It was Cedar Park taking down Tyler, 50-43. And Frisco Wakeland takes down Carrollton Newman Smith, 28-12.
This is one of those I just kind of shrug at. I mean, you've got 3 or 4 teams here that could very easily win this region. I think Frisco, Lone Star, and Georgetown are both capable. I would say Highland Park is more than capable of doing it. And if Cedar Park plays the way that they did last night, you better watch out for that Black Rain defense. All right, moving on now to Region 3. This is a region that we're always looking at, District 11 versus District 12, and let's go to one of those games. It's Pflugerville-Weiss taking on LaPorte. LaPorte would get the scoring fest started with Ashton Ruffin finding the hole on the near side of the field and taking it up from 6 yards out. Staying in the first quarter, it's LaPorte again, and Ashton Ruffin turns on the Jets and hits Bader. This one from 43 yards to extend the Bulldogs lead 21-7. Let's skip all the way to the fourth quarter. This is where it gets interesting. Pflugerville-Weiss, sophomore quarterback Jackson Shad in the pocket under pressure, scrambling when he finds sophomore wide receiver Jordan Eben Anderson L for the 17-yard score over the defender. What a catch that was. White cuts the deficit 35-28. Later in the fourth, LaPorte is punting, and it's blocked! It's blocked by Jordan Gwynn, who finishes the play with a scoop and score and ties his baby up at 35. Fourth quarter, all tied up. Weiss on offense. Shad hands it to sophomore running back Tylen Henderson, and look at the sophomore go. It's pandemonium in Harris County. 71 yards to the house, and Mallory Hartley's Weiss Wolves would go on to win it in a stunner, 42-35. Take a look at this. Port Arthur Memorial wins against Galena Park. Didn't really think that one wouldn't happen. College Station A&M Consolidated beats Crosby. That's a 11-12. Houston Madison loses to Beaumont United. Angleton takes a loss to College Station, 11-12. LaPorte loses to Pflugerville-Weiss, 11-12. Westbury takes the loss to Lufkin. Austin Anderson squeaks one out by 1 point against Friendswood, and then Barbers Hill takes it down against Houston Waldrop, 11-12. That's a sweep.
Yeah, Port Arthur Memorial and A&M Consolidated is interesting. A&M Consolidated survived against Crosby, who had an extra point that would have tied the game. There was a penalty on the play. They took the point off the board, went for 2, and A&M Consolidated defense stood tall to get the win in impressive fashion. College Station, that is a team that we had left for dead earlier in the year, and they are rolling right now. Fascinating stuff there, but that Beaumont United team is playing good ball as well. Let's go to Region 4. take a look at what's going on in Region 4 of this bracket. It's Smithson Valley, no problem. The defending state champs take down San Antonio Southside. How about Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial getting a win over Edinburgh Vela 31-26? San Antonio Piper takes down John Jay out of San Antonio 33-14. Flower Bluff over McAllen 45-7. PSJ North, no problem with Mission 65-14. They will get Bernie Champion, who were 41-14 winners over San Antonio Southwest. McAllen Memorial takes down Harlingen South 35-21. And the Unicorns of New Braunfels keep on rolling with a win over Laredo Nixon.
I got to tell you, I am pumped about that San Antonio Piper and Corpus Christi Flower Bluff game. I think that one has the potential to be the best game in this region, and whoever comes out of there likely getting Smithson Valley in the next round. Talk about a banger down there in Region 4.
Take a look at the whole 5A Division 1 bracket after one round. I would say all, with the exception of LaPorte falling to Pflugerville Weiss, I would say that the remainder of the favorites remain. And it was a relatively chalky bracket for the most part there in 4A Division 1, or in 5A Division 1, rather. Fascinating to see these second-round matchups, especially you start getting these cross-regional matchups. Aledo taking on Amarillo Tascosa, Abilene and Denton Ryan, they have a history. Beaumont United, College Station, Port Arthur Memorial, A&M Consolidated. You start to get those cross-regional matchups here in the second round.
A lot of driving in 5A Division 1. A ton of driving. All right, how about we head now to 5A Division 2 as we take a look at Region 1, and we're going out west, way out west. We go El Paso Del Valle taking on Lubbock Cooper. This is the quarterback keeping it right up the middle there, and they get their first score, putting them up 7-0. Then quarterback Jake Fetty would go on this one up the left side and fade it there to Josiah Nunez, making the score 14-13. In the second quarter we go, and it's Shermaine Johnson. No, we're going to celebrate first. He tries to get up the middle, and he gets blocked, finds the open area, and walks right in there to the right. The 5-yard touchdown is good. Our score now 14-10. Later in the second, and it is Cade Grant. He has that 45-yard touchdown as he pulls in the reception there. That's Reed Waters on the reception. Into the third, we're going to take the handoff. Nope, we're going to keep it. And into the end zone he goes, making our score 28-24 from 35 yards out. Now into the fourth quarter. The El Paser, he's going to drop back and find Dylan Gonzalez, who will grab that one 38-34 on the 40-yard touchdown. Then Lubbock extends their lead late in the middle. He drives right up the middle, rather. A quick 10-yard rushing touchdown, 45-35. And then here comes Jake Fetty again, 80 yards out. And he is going to show that he's not only the El Paser. Look at this guy scrambling in the back and then deciding to keep it going all the way. 80 yards after avoiding the sack. Unfortunately for El Paso Del Valle, it just wasn't enough, as Lubbock Cooper would go on to win it on that kneel down right there, 45-42. We take a look there at 5A Division 2 Region 1. El Paso Andreas with the win over Wichita Falls Memorial. Melissa getting a win over Colleyville Heritage. Amarillo Paladero moving on after a big win over El Paso Hanks. And then Anna able to squeeze one out there against Mansfield Timberview. Argyle putting an absolute heater, not allowing a single point there against Lovejoy to move on. Abilene Cooper, rather, getting the win over El Paso Chapin. Prosper Walnut Grove able to squeak one out against Arlington Seguin. And then how about Lubbock Cooper in that aforementioned win over El Paso Del Valle?
Yeah, I think all eyes here are on District 3 versus District 4 there, and for the most part, you saw that play out in very competitive ball games. Congratulations to Anna. It's a really nice win over Mansfield Timberview. They will have their hands full next week against Amarillo Paladero. That's a good Paladero squad from out there in the Panhandle. Melissa through to the second round. And then Argyle Abilene Cooper figures to be a lot of fun. That is Region 1. What about Region 2, where East Texas is the name of the game there? Huntsville taking on Marshall in first round action. Let's go to the highlights here. The Marshall Mavericks at home for their first playoff game hosting the Huntsville Hornets. And Marshall would punt on their first drive. In the first play, Huntsville drives with its keeper from Zarian Adolphin. And he is going to bounce it outside, turn on the Jets, take it about 60 yards for the first score of the ball game. Huntsville up early. Teams would trade punts before Marshall goes for it on fourth down. The throw is nearly picked off, but it will go as an incompletion and a turnover on downs. Then Huntsville driving the screenplay, opening up for Huntsville as they break away before getting wrapped up at midfield. But Jordan Deckard is going to come and punch out the ball. It's loose, and Marshall has got it. A wild back-and-forth defensive affair. Forced to punt again. Huntsville on the move. Again, before this miscue on the snap, the red zone has it again. It was a low-scoring affair in the first half, but Huntsville hit the Jets in the second half. They pull away for a 21-7 win over Marshall. Let's take a look at the Region 2 bracket. South Oak Cliff takes down Crandall. How about Joe Cluley's Mount Pleasant Tigers?
The upset.
Upsetting Montgomery in impressive fashion. They are through to the second round. Terrell remains unbeaten with a win over Seagoville. We saw they will get Huntsville next week. Texas High takes down Montgomery Lake Creek, and they will get Midlothian Heritage after their win over Dallas Hillcrest. Port Neches Groves takes down Nacogdoches in impressive fashion. That is a ball club that is playing their best football right now. They will get a matchup with Ennis.
Yeah, and Ennis favorites over Dallas Wilson, but man, that offense was humming last night. All right, we head now to 5A Division II Region 3, where the Trojans of Waco University were taking on the Buffaloes of Fort Bend Marshall. We start off here in the first quarter, and it's Waco University's quarterback, Savoy Nichols, who will find Jeremiah Green in this one as they line up. Where is Jeremiah Green? He's looking, and he finds him cutting up right there, turns on the Jets, and kicks things off with a little bit of a celebration. Dance can't hate on that. Into the second quarter we go. It's Fort Bend Marshall now trying to look for an answer, and it's big man senior Caden Johnson who decides to keep it himself, lower his body, and dive on into the end zone. University now leading 21-7 into the third quarter. It's Fort Bend Marshall again, and who else? No other than Caden Johnson, who's going to take that one in. He's just an absolute unit diving into that end zone. We're all tied up at 21. Into the fourth quarter, finally, it's Waco U from the 15. And Xavier Riviera is going to fake the handoff and finds London Smith wide open in the middle of the end zone. Waco University would go on to win it 35-27. We take a look now at the remainder of Region 3. Richmond Randall with a big win over Colleen Ellison. San Antonio Jefferson taking a 65-0 loss against Pflugerville Connolly. Waco U obviously pulling that one out. Then Bastrop bouncing back from their Week 11 loss to Liberty Hill, 62-0 over San Antonio Burbank. The aforementioned Liberty Hill doing mean things to San Antonio Lanier. Brenham with the win over Texas City. And then we round it all out there with Pflugerville getting the win over San Antonio Sam Houston, and Iowa Colony trying to meet back up with Richmond Randall. And they were off to a good start, taking down Belton.
That was fourth place Pflugerville taking down San Antonio Sam Houston. So for those who think too many teams make the playoffs, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Over to Region 4 we go, where another cross-regional matchup with Gregory Portland from the coast taking on Kerrville Tybee from the Greater Hill Country. Let's go check out 5A Division II Region 4 highlights there. Here come those Gregory Portland Wildcats hosting the Kerrville Tybee Antlers at Ray Hampton Wildcat Stadium. Opening drive for Tybee. Colin Rose calls his own number. He's going to find an open lane. But here comes Gregory Portland's Tate Mitchell to bring the boom, knocks the ball out. Ethan Cortez would recover, and the Wildcats would take advantage. This is Cody Adame. He's going to rumble in for the tough touchdown. Gregory Portland up 7. Then Tybee would respond. High tempo attack. It's going to go right in the breadbasket of Kyron Armelin. The sophomore, the track star, takes for a 75-yard house call. Antlers are down 7-6. Check out the onside kick. Jeremiah Vaughns for Galena Park North says, "Don't mind if I do." Picks it up midair and shocks the entire special teams unit for a 50-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. It's 14-6. Then Wildcats ball again. This time Carter Dominguez going to find great blocking in front of him. Good vision. 14-yard touchdown. They were up 21-6. At that point, Gregory Portland goes on to win it 75-50. Take a look at the Region 4 bracket, the way that rolled out. Bernie takes down Corpus Christi Ray in emphatic fashion, 42-13. Sherilyn Pioneer takes down Ed Couch Elsa. Gregory Portland, you saw, they will get Sherilyn, who had no problems with Brownsville Porter. Mission Veterans Memorial gets a win over Brownsville Pace. It was Victoria West taking down Corpus Christi Miller. Mercedes remains unbeaten, one of the quietest unbeaten teams in the state. They take down Roma 65-29. They have a date with Alamo Heights, who blanked Corpus Christi Carroll 60-0.
This one felt pretty chalky, but man, are there about 4 teams that could absolutely win this region. All right, we take a look at the 5A Division II bracket as a whole, and it felt chalky. It really did. From start to finish, I think that there are the favorites in every single region that you can look at and say, okay, but as we get, I think, next week into the regional semis, this is when this bracket's going to get real fun.
Yeah, I think you've got, again, Amarillo, Palo Duro, and Anna figures to be really fun. I think Abilene, Cooper, and Argyle will be a lot of fun as well. On the other side of the bracket, Liberty Hill and Brenham is a rematch of a playoff game last year. Interested to see how that plays out. I want to see what can happen here when, especially when you have these San Antonio teams start playing teams from outside of the Rio Grande Valley. Sharyland Pioneer taking on Bernie as an example. And then I would keep an eye on Texas High and Midlothian Heritage. I'm interested in that one. That is 5A Division 2. That's 5A as a whole. We are rolling here on the Texas Football Tonight by District Playoff Show. After the break, Class 4A highlights and brackets if you stay with us. Dave Campbell's Texas Football Fueling the Future Award, presented by Dutch Bros, honors exceptional teachers across Texas who go above and beyond to energize and inspire their students every day. These educators exemplify passion, dedication, and a commitment to shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Each month, one deserving teacher is recognized with a commemorative award and a $500 donation courtesy of Dutch Bros to support their academic department and further their impactful work in the classroom. To nominate your teacher, visit texasfootball.com/fuelingthefuture.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road. From up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need. So you can get in, get out, and get back out there. Like, fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, your after party. Texas high school football sure put on a party. We're just trying to live up to it. Texas high school football playoffs are here. TexasFootball.com/playoffs for everything you need. I'm Greg. These are highlights. What if we go to 4A? 4A Division 1, Region 1, where Gerald Brixey, head coach of the Brownwood Lions, made his playoff debut with those Lions, taking on Big Spring. To Abilene Christian we go. Brownwood already up 14-0. Judson Colson runs play action, finds the big fella, Christian Gray, for the short touchdown. Brownwood's up 20-0. Into the third quarter, watch this wraparound draw. This is great play design to Trent Buffington. He will follow his blockers for a 12-yard score. All Brownwood here. Some nice plays late here from Big Spring. Let's give them some love. Jacoby Lozano is going to fire deep and find Kane Valenzuela for the score. This is a nice pitch and catch here, but it's too little too late. Brownwood wins it 51-7. Let's take a look at the way it broke down. What a week for Canyon. Yeah. Canyon ISD. Canyon beats El Paso Isleta. El Paso Isleta was undefeated. That's a fourth-place Canyon team knocking off Isleta. They will draw Brownwood next week. Canyon West playing through the second round. They will draw Lampasas, who ended what has been a really nice season for St. Angelo Lakeview. Burnett upends Andrews. Any thoughts on that?
Nope.
Canyon Randall takes down El Paso Austin. They are through the second round. And Stephenville, Oliver Pecos, they will get a date with the Panhandle boys. Dumas.
How about we go now to 4A Division 1 Region 2 as Dallas Carter taking on Frisco Panther Creek. We head now to the action. Running back Donovan Webb up the middle for the first score, starting at 7-0. Into the second quarter, Panther Creek starts to run away with the game after Sean White takes the ball 30 yards down the end zone to make it 20-0 before halftime. Into the third quarter we go. Running back Donovan Webb strikes again with the quick 1-yard punch in right there after the rushing touchdown, 34-0. Just as Carter starts moving in a positive direction, how about this? They're going to put it up in the air, and it's picked off! It is picked off by Elon White, who then takes it all the way back 55 yards. Our score now, guys, 42-0. I mean, Panther Creek is just an absolute unit. We'll round it out here in the fourth. Carter finds the end zone for the first time when Jaden Lacey takes a diving touchdown score there, 49-7. Panther Creek walks away unscathed, 49-7. As we take a look at the rest of 4A Region or 4A Division 1 Region 2. Lots of numbers happening.
It's a lot of Roman numerals, honestly.
Yeah.
Rude.
We start off here with Springtown getting a 55-0 win over Lake Worth. Panther Creek, you just saw that win there. Alvarado with a whopping 77-0 win over Carter Riverside. Sulphur Springs with a big 62-9 win over Dallas. Kimball Salina 77-0. Are you seeing a trend here?
Yeah, I am.
Over Dallas Pinkston. Then Eastern Hills squeaking one out, 22-17. That game just finishing up here today. Paris with a big win over Dallas Lincoln. And finally rounding it out with Decatur, a 63-14 win over Castleberry.
Of note, before we go to Region 3, that was Eastern Hills' first playoff win since 1999. Congratulations to the Highlanders on the win, upsetting Kennedale in impressive fashion today. Over to Region 3 we go. Let's take a look at how things shook out. Kilgore, no issues with Little Cypress. Mauriceville, they will draw Stafford, who knocked out Houston Wheatley. Bridge City got a scare from Chapel Hill, but they survive it. The Cardinals are through the second round. They will draw the Rattlers of Navasota, who took down Houston North Forest 56-12. Houston Yates keeps on rolling. They beat Needville 50-24. How about Longview Pine Tree knocking off Lumberton 35-0? Fort Bend Crawford, real sleeper in this region. They take down Houston Worthing 50-7, but they will draw another sleeper, the Lindale Eagles, who drill Huffman Hargrave 63-21.
That was a statement win there by Coach Cochran and his Lindale Eagles. That was a really big one. Also, I'm very excited for that Kilgore-Stafford game.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that in a cross-regional matchup. All right, we head now to 4A Division 1 Region 4 as we round this one out. Austin LBJ, my regional pick, getting a win there, 37-15 over the Batlin Billies of Fredericksburg. Bay City wins 44-24 over Toloso Midway. San Antonio Davenport, no problem in a 62-0 win over Austin Eastside. The Sand Crabs, Port Lavaca Calhoun, 55-14. They take down Zapata. Then in the bottom half of Region 4, Lavernia with no problem over Hidalgo. Somerset taking down the Titans of Maynard New Tech. In an anticipated matchup in this one, Corpus Christi Cal Allen and El Campo in an unfair first round game. It is the Wildcats of Cal Allen that squeak it out 27-14. And then finally, Canyon Lake, a team to keep your eye on in Region 4, 63-19 over the Ducks of Taylor.
Of note, that Cal Allen versus El Campo game was a matchup of brothers on the head coach, with Mark Reeve taking on Charlie Reeve. But congratulations to Cal Allen through to the second round. We're starting to get to the good stuff here in Region 4. LBJ Bay City is going to be a lot of fun. Let's zoom out to the big picture, 4A Division 1 overall. You're starting to get to, I think one of the stories, Canyon ISD, 3-0, all three teams in the playoffs. That's spectacular stuff there. I think that you mentioned Kilgore Stafford, but Fort Bend Crawford and Lindale is going to be a lot of fun. And then we are going to get to the fireworks factory pretty quickly here, that top part of Region 2, with Springtown taking on Panther Creek and Alvarado taking on Sulphur Springs. That will be a lot of fun. A reminder to go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com. That is where you can relive everything that happened on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. This is your home for the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show, celebrating its 20th anniversary. Go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com to check out all of the winners all year long. FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com, leading up to the banquet coming up in January. More details to come on that. We're still rolling here on the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight playoff special. On to 4A Division 2 we go. We'll start in Region 1, where my good friend Matt Wilson was locked in to Levelland taking on Seminole. What happened? Let's find out together. Levelland taking on Seminole. First quarter, Caton Kramer is going to keep the ball and get in for a 3-yard touchdown here, and suddenly Seminole is up 7-3. Then this is going to be Levelland's quarterback Go Lightly. He's going to big time catch there over the Seminole defense, and Levelland is up 10-7. Then watch this catch again from Go Lightly. He's going to wrestle himself, and this time rather he's going to get the edge and cut it upfield, and Levelland suddenly up 17-7. But then Seminole would settle in. Landon Guerra is going to get the handoff. He's just a freshman. He goes 57 yards to pay dirt. 28-24, Seminole back in front. Then this is going to be Caden Brogdon. He's going to take the snap, fire to the outside, get in for the score. It's a 15-yard touchdown. It's 35-30 in a wild one. Now, first play of the second half. It's a kickoff. One of two things are going to happen. I'll tell you what. Austin Olivas knows what happens. Seminole, it's 72 yards to the house, and Seminole is up 49-30. On to the fourth quarter, and this is where Seminole really pours it on. Tobias Kavina is going to take the handoff in for the score, or take it in for the touchdown. And then Seminole will close it out with freshman Landon Guerra getting the quick toss in for the touchdown. Seminole wins at 77-38. Through to Region 1, Midland Greenwood remains unbeaten with a win over Perryton. They will get Eagle Mountain, who gets their first ever playoff win, with a win over Benbrook. Lubbock Liberty also gets their first ever playoff win. They'll get a date with Graham, who's got plenty of playoff wins. They take down Godley. Brock, no problem with Fort Worth Dunbar. They get Lubbock Estacado in the second round, who knocked out Fort Stockton. Great game between Glen Rose and Mineral Wells, and it was Glen Rose who came out on top. 48-34. They will get the aforementioned Seminole.
Glen Rose and Seminole? Hell yeah, brother. All right, we head on to the other side of the bracket here in 4A Division 2, and that is into Region 3. The Gilmer Buckeyes taking on Athens. Gilmer, they've won plenty state championships as of late. Can they do it again? Gilmer's Solomon Jackson thinks he's playing hockey because look at him putting a man on skates. Goodbye, he says. If you have a 6'6", 330-pound lineman, you use him. This is Frenchman Ishmael Kamara. He's going to go for the big boy run. Then Gilmer, Zayd Taylor runs a lot tonight. He's going to take himself and make it a 14-6 game after they block the Athens PAT. Athens going to respond on the kickoff with the house call. The flag is on Gilmer and it's declined because Emmanuel Moore is already in the end zone. There he go. Moore is going to get the ball again after we throw a bunch of confetti. He's going to catch a post and take that mail all the way to the house. He's breaking records this season. He's going to break over a guy. Athens' David quarterback Richardson makes it a 29-27 Gilmer game after Athens has another blocked punt. Athens would go on to beat the Buckeyes 57-49 as we take a look at the rest of Region 2. And Crum with a big win over Ferris. Athens taking it down. Gilmer, as you saw there, Sunnyvale squeaking one out 49-41 over Van Alstyne. Then Van wins over Center in an absolute thriller 50-48. Pleasant Grove, no problem over Brownsboro. Canton, a 20-7 win over Caddo Mills. Carthage, looking a little slow at first, but they started doing Carthage things after that, 63-34, and then Sanger getting a 31-20 win over Quinlan Ford.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start by Carthage standards, at least defensively, but I imagine they will get things figured out. Pleasant Grove Canton's a really fun second-round matchup, too, and I'm also interested to see what this Crum defense can do with a problem like Athens. Over to Region 3 we go, where one of the games we had our eye on is two teams that are no stranger to the state championship stage. The Belleville Brahma is taking on China Spring. Let's go to the action here as Belleville. First play, China Springs, Krishan Gregory is going to take the jet sweep in for a 4-yard score, and China Spring is up 7-0. Then Belleville quarterback Knox Bauerschlag going to roll and throw, but it's picked off by China Spring. He'll take it back all the way for 6, and suddenly China Spring's up 21-14. Then Belleville sophomore running back Rody Leora is going to take the handoff, weave his way through defenders in for a 19-yard score, knock this thing back up at 21 apiece. Into the overtime we go. China Spring quarterback Jackson Knapp is going to find Christian Trevino for the score, and that would be your game winner. China Spring stuns Belleville 28-21. Take a look at the Region 3 bracket here. West Orange Shark takes down Wharton in impressive fashion. They will get Robinson, a very pointsy Robinson team. West Columbia takes down Shepherd. They will get Sealy in the second round. China Spring, that upset, that's a 4-1. They will get Lamarck, who survived a really fun matchup with Hampshire Finette. Waco La Vega, no problem in the first round, 42-0 winners over LaGrange. They will get a feisty Silsby team in the second round.
Yeah, all eyes are on that Waco La Vega Silsby game. That one is sure to be a good one. All right, we head now to 4A Division 2, Region 4, as we round it all out with Jarrell and Divine. On the highlights, we will get back to those in just a second here. Salado and Pearsall. Salado able to crank out the win 49-6. Rockport Fulton taking down Kingsville. Gonzales over Bandera 24-14 in the Brady Keene battle. Cuero with a 42-14 win over La Feria. Sinton, an absolute wagon, 71-7 over Garula. Then Jarrell would go on to win 66-28 over Divine. Robstown 38-28 over Port Isabel, and Wimberley, They didn't play a one-score game, finally.
I know.
A 59-0 win over Carrizo Springs.
Robstown's first playoff win since 2010. Congratulations to them. Slot T is the Devil. Keep an eye on Gerald against Sinton. Gonzalez, that's a 4-1. I'm going to keep banging that drum here. They will get a date with Cuero. Interested to see that. Let's take a look, zoom out at 4A Division II as a whole. Really, I would say overall, a couple of upsets scattered hither and yon. We mentioned them. Belleville, I think China Spring over Belleville is one of the upsets of the first round of the playoffs. The Dave Campbell's Texas Football Computer had Belleville as a 20-point projected winner in that ball game. A lot of fun matchups here in the second round too. La Vega, Silsbee, two teams that can absolutely get after it. I'm excited to see how the 4A Division II bracket shakes out.
All right, the party continues here on playoff action, recapping the bi-district round of the Texas high school football playoffs here on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. The party will continue on after this. 3A Division I, one of my favorite brackets, coming up next.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Texas Army National Guard are honored to present the Coach of the Week Award, celebrating one head coach in 7 different classifications. That's 6A all the way down to 6-man, and of course, private school every single week. Think your head coach deserves some recognition? Nominate them under our weekly Twitter and Facebook post. Those will come out Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 8:30 p.m., and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. That's facebook.com/Dave Campbell's or at DCTF on Twitter. Thank you to Texas Army National Guard for helping spotlight the hard work and dedication of high school head coaches across Texas.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football is proud to partner with Sport Tyler to award the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose National Player of the Week, which recognizes the top offensive player in Division I college football, who also exhibits the enduring characteristics that define Earl Campbell: integrity, performance, teamwork, sportsmanship, drive, community, and tenacity. It all leads up to the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award, announced in January. Congratulations to this week's winner of the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose National Player of the Week. For more information, visit earlcampbellaward.com.
I think the heartbeat of Panther Creek High School is really just about the kids and trying to get better every single day and having a common vision of success. I nominated Mr. Ryan Solano for Community Leader of the Week because of all he's done for Panther Creek and our community here. Opening the school in 2022 was no easy task, and he's handled everything that's been thrown at us with such grace and an incredible job of just combining community leadership with our staff, with our students, all those involved, and just really truly uniting this entire campus with our community towards a common goal, and that's success for kids, and no one's done that better than him.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Back here, Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, your Friday night after party on a Saturday night. That's how it works. We're going to be Saturday night for the next couple of weeks, so make sure you hang out with us 10:30 p.m. wherever you stream. We are on to Class 3A Division I action. To Region 1 we go, where Jim Ned, one of the favorites to win a wild and woolly 3A Division I, took on Boyd. To Stephenville we go. Pick up in the second half. Jim Ned's at 14-7. Cash Quinn is cash money, dropping a dime to Breck Lawson. 14-yard strike, 21-7 Indians. Jim Ned's special teams come through big. Boyd back to punt, but it's blocked! And it's Tucker Deal who's Johnny on the spot to pounce on it for a touchdown. 35-7 Indians in control. Late in the fourth, and it's freshman Caleb Garcia puts the finishing touches on this with a 51-yard touchdown scamper. Jim Ned rolls into the area round with a 42-7 win over the Yellow Jackets of Boyd. Let's take a look at the way that Region 1 broke down. Shallow Water will go on to take on a Peaster team to keep an eye on. That's a high-powered Peaster team. Denver City takes down Amarillo River Road. They will get Vernon, who knocked out Clyde. Jim Ned will get a matchup with Bushland in the second round of the playoffs. Paradise through to the second round. They will get Dalhart, who is in the midst of one of their best seasons ever.
Jim Ned and Bushland. That is a tasty matchup there in Region 1. We matriculate now to 3A Division 1 Region 2, where Malakoff was taking on Liberty Ilu, and we head now to the highlights for this one, and we will start off in the second quarter here. Senior Jarian Hall is going to take the handoff and talk about starting the scoring off with a bang. He goes 90 yards for the touchdown to put Malakoff up 6-0. Then, still here in the second quarter, we're going to flex a little bit on him first, but it's Ross who comes back to make the catch from 28 yards out. Look at that. Talk about ball awareness on that one. Malakoff adding on to the lead. Then Jarian Hall, again, this man cannot stop from 6 yards out. He gets his second score of the night. Malakoff up. Second quarter, final play of the first half, and it is Canyon Marsh, who looks like he's about to get sacked. Right there, he escapes it, and he goes to Weston Jedlicka for the 28-yard touchdown. Malakoff up 25-0 at the break. Into the second half we go. Into the third quarter, it's junior Caden Peacock. He's going to find him right there over the middle and haul that one in from the 31-yard touchdown. Malakoff still leads now 25-6. Final one in the third quarter here, Caden Peacock. Again, look at this man go 67 yards, but Malakoff would show to be too much as they go on to win 28-13. We take a look at the rest of Region 2, and that'll be my Whitney Wildcats.
I know you're high on Whitney.
I am locked in. They're my hell yeah brother pick of
Boy, they got a scare, though.
They did. They absolutely did. It was an absolute thriller of a game, 61-55. Carter Yates and Mallory Hartley in attendance, and my pick is still alive. All right, Winsboro would go on to beat Atlanta by one score, 28-20. Pottsboro getting the win over Maypearl. Malakoff, you saw that one. Commerce and Jefferson, 40-14. Pilot Point would go on to beat West 45-13. Gladewater in a big win over Mount Vernon, and Grandview, the Zebras, would squeak one out 49-47 over Palmer.
That's Region 2. On to Region 3 we go, where one of the key matchups was Franklin taking on Hallettsville. Franklin on the short list of 3A Division 1 contenders. Let's go to the highlights here in Region 4. This is going to be Tyler LaBeouf. They run that kind of slot T action, that wing T action. It is dangerous. 13 yards in for the Snows. Franklin draws first blood up 6-0. Then this time, Roger Fulton is going to take the pitch out to the right side. 13 yards later, somebody turn on the lights. It's 14-0. Lions are on top. Then still in the first quarter, Franklin's up 14-0. They still keep it going. This is going to be Sawyer Janus going to truck a defender. Bang! In for the score. It's a 16-yard score. Franklin's up 21-0. Still second quarter. Now in the second quarter, rather, Walker Anderson for the Lions, the quarterback, is going to take the snap. He's going to take it himself in for a 67-yard touchdown. Lions are rolling 28-0. Still in the second quarter, but this time Hallettsville would get on the board in the form of Michael Pagoda here. He's going to take the snap. He's going to take it on a designed run. Great blocking on the outside. He's going to get in for a 14-yard score. Hallettsville's on the board. Still 28-7 to Franklin. Then more from Franklin in the fourth quarter. They're pulling away. This time Will Scarpinato, is going to take a pitch in for a 2-yard score. Franklin's up 51-20. Then Zachary Montgomery here for Franklin is going to, or rather for Hallettsville, he's going to fumble the catch here. Watch this. It's fumbled here. Right into the hands of Mikhail Pagoda, who's going to take it all the way in for the score. Nice way to end it for Hallettsville, but Franklin wins at 51-27. Let's take a look at the way that Region 3 broke down. Fairfield still unbeaten. They will get a tough test next week against the Yoakum Bulldogs, who are rolling right now. Hardin still unbeaten. One of the quietest unbeaten teams in the state. They will draw the Hitchcock Bulldogs after their win over Little River Academy. Franklin, you saw, they will get a date with Orangefield after their 29-20 win over Diboll. Columbus, no problem with Troy in the first round. They will get the high-flying Palestine Westwood offense coming to town.
There you go. That is Region 3. How about we move down to Region 4? And our friends at KRGV were out at Raymondville and Orange Grove as we take a look at these highlights that they so kindly provided to us. We're hyping up the teams. There we go. Orange Grove quarterback Lyndon Rodriguez is going to wind this one up and drop it off to Trenton Garrett, who will pull that one in. Orange Grove will not get it in, but punch it in there. Braylon Arias is good. Extra point is no good, though, so we're up 6-0. Then, second quarter, Raymondville trying to answer, and it's Trayshawn Washington who will go ahead and run that one in there. That extra point is good. Raymondville goes up 7-6. Back to Orange Grove, and it's Lyndon Rodriguez. He's going to keep it himself and dive on into the end zone. Our score 13-7. Orange Grove, one more time here. It's Nicholas Kratz who will haul this one in at 20-14. Orange Grove does go on to win it 35-31 as we take a look at 3A Division 1 Region 4. And how about that? The Fighting Llano Yellow Jackets get a 49-14 win over Poteet. Corpus Christi London will be who they match up against after their 49-42 win over Rio Hondo. Crystal City, the Javelinas, taking on the Rohawks of Randolph, and they will get the win there and be going up against Goliad, who got a big win, 49-7 over Bishop. Edna, the Cowboys, still in it, 63-7 over San Diego. They'll be facing up against Marion, who squeaked one out against Jerdington. Then Orange Grove, you saw their win there. They will be taking on Ingram Moore after their thrilling 24-17 win over Hondo, and what a year for them.
Yeah, unbelievable. Remember, Ingram was really one of the ground zeros for those terrible floods in the Central and the Hill Country, and now to win their first playoff game in 2 decades is really remarkable for that staff down there at Ingram, Tom Moore. They will draw Orange Grove, which, by the way, that's a 4-1. I'm going to keep bringing it up. Goliad, remember, won this region last year, so keep an eye on them. Let's zoom out to 3A Division 1 as a whole, and overall, that's the way that it looks. We're down to the field of 32 here. Interested, Jim Ned and Bushland is going to be box office. Whitney and Winsboro are 2 teams that can absolutely put up points. Interested in that one. Hardin and Hitchcock. This feels like for Fairfield and Hardin, this is like crunch time. We're going to find out exactly how good those undefeated teams are. And then I already mentioned Orange Grove and Ingram Moore figures to be a lot of fun. That is 3A Division 1. On to 3A Division 2 we go, where there was plenty of big action out there in West Texas in Region 1. Let's start there. Childress taking on Littlefield in the first round action. Scoreless in the first quarter, but not for long. Lucian Davis going to step out of a tackle here and hit the sideline and the afterburner. Stays in bounds. A 39-yard touchdown run here. Childress would strike first. But Littlefield's got a little something, too. And that little something is sophomore quarterback Sammy Sines. He's going to drop back. He's going to fire deep to Jaden Barrier, comes back for it, and then take it for a 71-yard score. It's fireworks early and often in this one in Canyon ISD. Meanwhile, Childress would have a response in the form of their own quarterback, Cohen Galligan. Play action finds Creedon Ball underneath, and he will go the distance. Childress takes a 14-7 lead. Still in the first quarter. Now in the second quarter, tied at 14, and Childress gets the ground game going. This time it's Casey Geyser off to the right side, and what great blocking by the line. Huge hole, and he's gone 67 yards to the house. Childress would not look back from there. Next possession, Galligan is going to take it himself. This time, watch the zone read keeper here. Fake it, follow your blocker, and he's gone. 47 yards untouched. Childress gets a school record for points in a playoff game. 84-34, their final over Littlefield. Let's take a look at the way that Region 1 broke down. Canadian takes down Muleshoe. They'll get Coahoma in the second round of the playoffs. Idalou all over Dimmitt. They will draw San Angelo Grape Creek, who took out Crane. Merkel, another 4-1. The Badgers take down Odessa Compass. They're through to take on Slayton, who knocked off Friona. Wall, no problem with Anthony. Wall and Childress in the second round of the playoffs next week.
How about we look at 3A Division 2 Region 2? We go to the bracket here, and Holiday a 50-36 win over the Longhorns of Early. Leonard getting a 40-14 win over Scurry Rosser. Jacksboro with a big 41-20 win over Toller. The Rattlers falling their Blue Ridge in a 59-6 win over Blooming Grove. Gunner had no problem, an 84-7 win over Rice. Then Wichita Falls City View able to get it done against Brady 30-12. Callisburg 62-30 over Cedar Hill TLC, and we round it all out there with Henrietta getting a massive 54-7 win over Clifton.
Callisburg over Cedar Hill TLC. That is a 4-1. On to Region 3 we go. Hey, remember who played in the 3A Division II state championship a year ago? It was Gunner. They won it. You remember who they beat? The Woodville Eagles. Well, they had their hands full against West Rusk in what ended up being one of the wildest games of the weekend. Let's go to Nacogdoches to see what happened here. West Rusk is going to start things off. Jordan Dotson dropping a dime to sophomore Gunnar Harp. It's 46-yard dot-to-dot. West Rusk leads early. Woodville would answer in the form of Dustin Barlow, powering his way in for the score. It's 2 yards. We're tied up at 7. Then West Rusk back to the air. Dotson looking, firing down the seam, and it's Cameron Brown for the super sophomore. His first of 2 touchdown grabs. Raiders back in front. West Rusk would extend the lead to 27-7 before Gage Toller on 4th and 1 takes a direct snap and gets way more than just one. It's 29 yards to the break. It cuts to the lead to 27-14 West Rusk, but the Raiders would lead 34-14 at halftime. They're up 20, right? 20-point lead. Here's the opening kickoff of the second half. And this would set the tone for Woodville in the second half. It's Cavante McDaniel. He's going to field it on a hop, find a seam, make a couple guys miss. He's gone. 79 yards later, it's a house call. And a score for the Eagles. They've got life. It's 34-21. Now in the fourth quarter, it's 34-28. And Luke Babin, quarterback for Woodville, going to take the snap. Watch his pump fake. Boom. Then, he's going to go deep. He's got a man, Ethan Sherd. It's 21 unanswered for Woodville, and they lead. Now it's 42-34 Woodville, and they're looking for more. They hand off to Tanner Ledoux, and he will do. 28 yards in for the score. Woodville has rung off 35 straight. Now watch this. After a West Rusk touchdown, closes it to 49-41. They go for the onside kick. Kenneth Rigsby says, "Give me that!" Takes it all the way back for a 44-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. It's a dagger. Woodville wins a wild one. 56-41 is your final, and the state's finalists from a year ago are still alive. Let's take a look at the way that Region 3 breaks down.
Have you taken
after
a breath?
Woodville gets out. Woodville will take on Edgewood in the second round. Bunch of playmakers in that ball game. Dangerfield gets by Harmony. They will take on Kuntz. Troop, still unbeaten, still dangerous. They take down Anderson Shiro. Hooks over Lone Oak. It was Newton getting a win over New Diana. They will get Decap, who knocked off Grand Saline in a thriller, 30-21.
Okay, we're going to let you take a breath there.
Thank you.
How about we head to 3A Division II Region 4 as I dodge paper balls that are being thrown at me. And we go to Wharton County, East Bernard, taking on Rogers. We start off here in the first quarter, and it's East Bernard's Dominic Munoz who takes the first touchdown 2 yards out after a strong drive. The Brahmas are up on the scoreboard first. Then East Bernard again, Dan Bartlett runs to the side, throws it to Max Magnum. East Bernard goes up 13-0. Then second quarter now, it's the Brahmas again. Munoz evades a tackle on this one, and it's 24 yards to the house to go up 20-0. We go on now to the second half. In the third quarter, East Bernard is going to just keep putting on the pressure. This one, Luke Anderson, score now 28-0. Staying in the third, Johan Lopez Brooks is going to take the handoff, avoid a couple of defenders, and make his way down the sideline, 44 yards. That'll set them up for another touchdown that they will convert on there in the third. Skipping forward, though, to the fourth quarter, Max Magnum is going to make the touchdown here on the opening drive of the final quarter of the game. Rogers, though, would not go away without getting some points on the board. This is Cisneros. He tosses a 9-yard touchdown to Cash Smith on the reception there. Cisneros to Dylan Stow on the 2-point conversion right here. Is it going to be successful? He drops it off way into the end zone, and it is. then one more time for Rogers to try and put some more points on the board, and they will be able to do that. Although the final score will be East Bernard 35, Rogers 15. Just not enough there as we take a look at the rest of Region 4 here in 3A Division 2. Blanco with a 48-23 win over Vanderbilt Industrial. How about Cotulla, 50-20 over Odom. Tidehaven, one of the regional favorites, 62-7 over Comfort. Stockdale, no problem over Santa Rosa. Poth doing mean things to Taft, 69-13. East Bernard, you saw that one. George West, 56-14 over Carson City. And Lexington in an absolute 42-41 thriller over Wallace Brazos.
That was one of the games I had my eye on in this bracket, 3A Division 2. Lexington and Wallace Brazos, two great quarterbacks in that one, with Jarvis Dickerson for Wallace Brazos taking on Case Evans. Lexington survives, but it doesn't get any easier as they will take on George West in the second round. Zoom out, 3A Division 2. I would say that overall, the favorites, this is a place where it feels like it's relatively stratified. Wall looks like the favorite in Region 1. Gunner looks like the favorite in Region 2. Region 3, your mileage may vary. I'm a Newton guy, but I know that Matt Stepp is on a troop, which is interesting. That Edgewood-Woodville matchup is going to be a lot of fun. And then in Region 4, it does feel like it's Tidehaven's the team to beat, but Stockdale can score, and I'll just keep an eye on that one. That is 3A Division 2. That is Class 3A. Of course, TexasFootball.com/playoffs is where you can find all the Texas high school football playoffs that you need. We're rolling here on the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight Playoff Spectacular. 2A is up next. Small School After Dark, if you stay with us.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Higginbotham have teamed up to find the most driven team in Texas. This fall, 10 finalists will be highlighted throughout the season, with one student athlete from each team receiving the Most Driven Scholar Athlete Award for their leadership in the classroom, along with $1,000 in tuition assistance. In November, all 10 communities will rally to vote on TexasFootball.com, competing for the title of the most driven team in Texas. The school that rallies the most online votes will receive a $10,000 donation to their school, thanks to the support of Higginbotham. To learn more, visit TexasFootball.com/mostdriventeam.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need, so you can get in, get out, and get back out there, like fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Hello, Huddly Doodly neighborinos. It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight Playoff Edition. Playoffs?
That's the second Haddly Doodly you dropped tonight.
But I did the other one off. I did the other one off mic, so it doesn't count.
Too many.
I'm Greg. That's Ashley. We're rolling. Let's go to 2A Division 1. 2A Division 1. Let's take a look at how Region 1 broke down in the first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Stinnett West Texas still unbeaten. They knock off Abernathy. Next week will have their hands full against the Hawley Bearcats. New Home takes down Amarillo Highland Park 57-18. They will get Stanford, who of course played for a state championship a year ago. They were all over Sonora. How about that? Anson knocks off Ozona. That is a 4-1, and it ends the Christian Villarreal season. Christian Villarreal finishes as the 6th all-time leading rusher in single-season history in Texas high school football. Congratulations to him on a great season, but congratulations to Anson on a big-time win. They will get the Lynx of Spearman, who knock off New Deal. Cisco, no problem with Cristoval, the Big Damn Lobo of 62-0 over Cisco, or over Cristoval. They will get Panhandle, who got in a fight with Post, but came out on the other end, 35-18.
A lot of star power there for sure.
Tons of star power. Over to Region 2, and one of the games we had our eye on, Price Carlisle taking on Valley Mills in Region 2 action. Let's go to the highlights of 2A Division 1 Region 2. This is Antonio Ibarra going to get the game started with a touchdown. Carlisle goes up 6-love. Then it's going to be Ivan Garza. Going to have an extra point. This extra point's fun. Left-footed kicker, huh? All right. Something good. 7-0. Then Chase Rowland going to get a clean shovel pass here from Ibarra. Watch this shovel pass. This is a great play design. He will get around and cut it up into the end zone for the score. Makes it a 13-point lead. And guess what we're going to show?
Please tell me it's a left.
Yeah,
extra
you dang
point.
right.
Oh my gosh, we can't get enough of the left foot.
Ivan Garza up and good.
Let's go.
14-0. Flash forward to the fourth quarter. Carlisle's looking to increase their lead with a field goal. Garza! Carlisle's up 17.
The left foot.
The field goal. Ibarra's back at it for another touchdown. He's going to plunge in. It's 24-0.
Please give it to me.
Nah, sorry. Valley Mills still got fighting them. Sorry.
Tomato.
Valley Mills still got fighting them. Blaine Griner going to run it inside. Run it. Rolling. Firing. Bryson Bell on the other end. That's a great pitch and catch. Valley Mills' first score of the game. They would go for 2, but this is going to go all sorts of cattywampus on him. Jay-Sean Johnson's going to fumble. It's a fumble. He's going to pick it up. He will get into the end zone. Brings it 24-8.
Give me more left foot.
Carlisle wins at 24-8.
Give me another one.
I'm sorry. No.
One more left foot.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
Ivan Garza was done for the
boo.
evening. Hamilton gets the win over Tioga. This is my favorite region in the state. Hamilton gets a win over Tioga. Mildred, a winner over Dawson. Alvord takes down Heiko. We mentioned they will get Price Carlisle. Axel, my pick to win the region. They will get Tom Bean. Tom Bean, who won their first playoff game, I think since 2004. Congratulations to the Tomcats. Frankston, I think one of the early favorites. They will take on DeLeon, who ended the outstanding high school football career of H.G. Davis at Wolf City in a thriller. It was 30-28 was your final.
There's Region 2. Let's go to the other side of the bracket and go to 2A Division 1 Region 3, where we find Shelbyville taking on Jewett-Leon. We head to the highlights now. And in the first quarter, we'll start off here with Jewett-Leon. It's 21-7 at this point, and this pass is picked off by Gavin McDonald. That's who threw the interception. Brady Rower was going to be the one making the jumping grab. Into the second quarter we go. Shelbyville trying to get on it, and what a catch there from Bryant Scarborough. Then in the third quarter, Jewett-Leon. That's Alex Galvin in the shotgun, and it's picked off again by junior defensive back Hunter Harvey, who would take it back 50 yards for the defensive score. We round it out with one more here in the third. Leon now 48-40, and Cotton Brigner will take it in 21 yards. Leon goes on to win it 55-40. As we take a look at the rest of Region 3, Honey Grove pulling one out 41-10 over Union Grove. Joaquin with a 42-21 win over Centerville. Elijah Fields gets a big one over Como-Picton. Garrison over Corrigan Camden. San Augustine 62-35 over Groveton. Wascom with a 41-14 win over Cupper. Jewett-Leon, you saw that one, and then Paul Pewitt taking the loss 21-14 against Beckville.
Yeah, a lot to break down here. San Augustine, it's not long ago where they were the dominant power in Region 3. They could be returning to that. Garrison, I maintain, when they play to their paper, they might be the best team in this region. They will get their hands full with Elysian Field next week. And Honey Grove, Rylan Morris keeps on rolling. They will get Joaquin. On to Region 4. Let's take a look at what's going on in Region 4. Crawford takes down Johnson City. They will take on Kennedy next week, who got a nice win over Santa Maria. Mason takes down Marlin 61-15. It was Schulenburg getting by Freer 56-35. Ganado, the rating 2A Division 1 state champs, blank Three Rivers 55-0. They will get Thorndale next week, who knocked off Moody 42-7. It was Refugio taking down Weimer 35-23, one of the early favorites, the wire-to-wire number 1 team in 2A Division 1. They'll get Rosebud Lott, who knocked off the Armadillos of San Saba 31-7. So let's zoom out on 2A Division 1 overall. It does feel like, overall Region 2 is still just such a, pick whoever you want.
Yeah.
I also think Region 3 is getting that way, too. I think Region 3 is really wide open and a number of different teams that could win it. It seems like we are careening towards Ganado or Furio in the Region 4 regional semifinals, the Thanksgiving matchup between those two teams. And Region 1 is going to be a lot of fun. Cisco Panhandle is a whale of a second-round ballgame.
That one is really, really fun. I'm really excited to see the Ryland Morris experience there with Honeygrove and Joaquin. I think that one is underrated.
Remember Joaquin won that region last year.
Yes. And now they're meeting up in the second round with one of the best players in 2A Division 1. All right, we head now to 2A Division 2, the smallest of the 11-man classes, and we go to Region 1, where you will find Wink taking on Sundown. Let's head to the highlights here in the first quarter. Wink will start off with the ball, and it's quarterback Jackson Talley, who hands it off to Kamid
Fashan.
There we go. Fashan. Thanks. Guy was struggling with that one. Who breaks a tackle. Look at this man. He cannot be broken down. He takes it 57 yards to the house to put the Wildcats up 7-0. Into the second quarter, Wink again. Jackson Talley this time going to show off that arm, and he hits Cade in stride, 35 yards out. Wink now up 21-0. Third quarter, Wink continuing to add on the pressure when Talley would hit Timothy Montoya, who goes 45 yards, making it 28-0. Third quarter, Sundown trying to get on the board when sophomore running back Jeremiah Reyes would take it in and refuse to go down. My Lord, son, 14 yards for 6. Wink on the 19, Talley in the pocket drops it off to big wide receiver and tight end Austin Evans to go up 40-16. Sundown one more time is going to punch this one in. Actually, they're going to fumble it. This one being on purpose, as Sundown's Colt McDaniel picks it up and both teams celebrate in a heartwarming end to a great game there by Brian Gibson's squad from Wink. We take a look at the rest of Region 1. Stratford with a big win over Morton. Tahoka with a big win over El Dorado. Hale Center takes the loss to Bovina, one that Matt Stepp had his eye on as he was there. Seagraves with the big win, 35-24 over Iran. Ropes with a 76-6 win over McCaney. Farwell beating Sudan. Wink, you saw that one. And then finally, how about Groover, showing that they might be a team to beat here, 67-7 over Lockney.
Let me tell you something. Bovina is another 4-1. That's the biggest upset of the first round. That's an unbelievable upset for Bovina, taking down Hale Center. They will get Seagraves next week. And then, that Wink Groover game is going to be pointsy. That is a promise. Over to Region 2. Let's take a look at Region 2. The Wheeler defense continues to be fantastic. They gave up 8 points to Electro. What's wrong with Wheeler? They will get Collinsville, who can certainly score. They beat Roscoe 51-21. Windthorst takes down Clarendon. They will take on Lindsay, a Lindsay Knights team that I'm very high on, who takes down the Pied Pipers of Hamlin. Albany got in a fight with Santo, but came out on the other end, 34-18. They will get Quanah in the second round. Congratulations to Quanah on a really impressive victory over Petrolia. Munster, all over the defending state champs, all over Cross Plains. They will draw Wellington next week, 41-21. That's Sky Raid offense.
How about we go now to 2A Division 2, Region 3 on the opposite side of the bracket, and Mart doing Mart things, 40-6 over Cumbie. Love Lady! They take down Evadale 76-21. Bremond with a big 55-24 wins over Sims Bowie. Grapeland having no problem with a 50-21 win over Deweyville. Mount Enterprise 70-14, my goodness, over West Hardin. Chilton getting a big win over Clarksville. Overton takes on West Sabine and is victorious 49-20, and then Goldthwaite beating Maud.
Overton over West Sabine, another 4-1, and then Mount Enterprise Chilton next week. That is high-powered offense against a dangerous Chilton defense. That is spectacular. Keep it on Bremond and Grapeland as well. By the way, Mart is another 4-1. Over to Region 4. Region 4, Granger takes down D'Hanis. One of the most underrated undefeated teams in the state is the Granger Lions. They will get Yorktown next week. They took down Agua Dulce. Junction undefeated as well. They will take on Falls City next week. The Beavers got a 42-0 win over Woodsboro. Shiner all over Ben Bolt. Bracketville takes down Burton 54-35. Lavia continues rolling. They beat Louise 49-8. They will get a date with Iola, who knocked off Sabinal. 50-27. So you take a look at 2A Division II overall at the bracket. I'm fascinated by that Wink and Groover matchup. You want to talk about strength on strength? Wheeler and Collinsville is box office. Munster
Windthorst Lindsay?
Yeah, Windthorst Lindsay. Region 2 is all fun of really fun matchups. And then I mentioned it. Chilton and Mount Enterprise might be the premier strength on strength matchup in all of Texas high school football next week. And then that Junction Falls City game is calling my name as well. That's going to be a lot of fun.
We go now to break.
I was going to say, that's what the rundown says.
Yeah, no, I know this. I had to make them think that we were done. We're not done. We've got 6-man ball coming up right now after the break on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. Stay here for the 6-man party.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road. From up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Dave Campbell's Texan Lives Athlete of the Month, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, shines a spotlight on one outstanding female and one exceptional male athlete each month who exemplify excellence on and off the field. This prestigious recognition celebrates student athletes who demonstrate remarkable athletic performance, unwavering dedication to their teams, and a commitment to their communities. To nominate your student athlete, scan the QR code on screen or visit texasfootball.com/athlete of the month. With support from Dick's Sporting Goods, we are proud to honor these young leaders who inspire their peers and represent the best of Texas high school sports.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Baylor Scott & White Health.
We're rolling Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, your Friday night after party on a Saturday night. It's actually approaching Sunday, and I'm not allowed to work on Sunday. Let's get to 6-man action. 1A Division I. Let's take a look at how Region 1 broke down. Remember, only 2 teams from each district make the playoffs. Take a look at Region 1 there. Booker takes down Spring Lake Earth. Whiteface, in one of the premier matchups of the week, takes down Garden City in impressive fashion. It was Rankin scoring a win over Borden County. They will draw the Swifts of Nazareth in the second round. On to Region 2. In Region 2, Turkey Valley takes down Vernon Northside 62-6. I think the best game in the bracket this week, Robert Lee knocks off district champ Ira 60-14. Water Valley keeps rolling. They get a win over Hermley 62-14. They will get Newcastle, who had no problem with Petersburg, 73-0 in the first round.
To the other side of the bracket, we go 1A Division I in Region 3 here. Milford gets a big win over St. Joe 93-50. Aquila 70-6 over Burkeville. Chester will be taking on Union Hill as Chester beats Coolidge 52-6, and Union Hill gets the win 92-60 over Avalon. Moving into Region 4, Gordon, the favorite in the 1A Division I bracket, had no problem with Jonesboro in a 52-6 win. Menard 62-0 over Canepa. Runge takes the loss 74-26 against Medina. And how about the Tigers of May pulling one out 70-22 over Gorman?
So we'll zoom out to the overall Division I bracket. Gordon actually had a walk-off touchdown on a crazy play that you might see on Monday Morning Fallout as our play of the week. It was crazy, basically like a pitchy woo-woo play to end the game at halftime.
I'm in it.
So fantastic stuff there. Water Valley Newcastle is a game I've got my eye on. Rankin and Nazareth is interesting as well. But Gordon, I think, the clear favorite to win 1A Division I, but Water Valley maybe is a close second. Over to 1A Division II. Let's take a look at Region 1, the way the Region 1 broke down. My pick for the game of the bracket in 1A Division II this week, Miami took down Paducah in an impressive fashion. Paducah ends up losing 2 games all year long by a combined 26 points, and they're out of the playoffs. But they will draw Ackerley Sands, who upsets Whit Harrell 82-46. Impressive from Sands. Klondike, no problem with Amherst 64-18, and they will draw Motley County, who knocked off Follett 71-22. Down in Region 2, Balmorhea remains unbeaten with a 56-8 win over Blackwell. Benjamin all over Aspermont 53-8. Jayton, the defending 1A Division II state champs, they take down Guthrie 56-6, and it was Grand Falls Royalty taking down district champ Bront 79-34.
How about we go to 1A Division 2 Region 3, and the Greyhounds of Strawn get a 78-12 win over Goldberg. Bluffdale with a 70-20 win over Mount Calm. How about three-way pulling the upset over Oakwood, 40-28 rather, and rounding out Region 3 Fanadel with a 54-6 win over Woodson. We take a look down in Region 4 here, and Zephyr taking down America's team in Evant 53-8. Richland Springs with no problem against Calvert 62-0. Cherokee, the Indians there, 70-24 over Rochelle. And then Jeb Dixon and his Oglesby Tigers get it done in a 54-12 win over Blanket.
Let's zoom out to 1A Division 2 as a whole. There you have it. Motley County and Klondike is going to be box office. Three-way, that's a really impressive upset of Oakwood. Oakwood is one of just 2 state finalists who are out of the playoffs. Them and Austin Westlake. So 1A Division 2, Austin Westlake. Corporate wants you to look at these two pictures and find the difference. Strawn and Bluffdale will be a lot of fun. I think we're all waiting. If we get to Richland Springs versus Cherokee in a regional final, those are 2 teams that do not care for each other, and that'll be a really fun matchup. That is the way that 6-man football broke out in Class 1A. Of course, TexasFootball.com/playoffs has everything you need. After the break, we'll put a bow on this one if you stay with us.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Baylor Scott & White Health.
So there it is. That's week 1, round 1 of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. 352 UIL Texas High School Football Playoff games. We gave you every score. What more do you want from us? Tons of highlights. But guess what? Next week we get to do it again. And this time it's the area round. Let's take a look at the Built for Tough games to watch for the area round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Big game in 6A Division 1, Galena Park, North Shore, and Fort Bend, Ridge Point. I am fascinated by Frisco, Lone Star, and Georgetown. Fort Bend, Crawford, and Lindale is going to be all sorts of box office. Poth and East Bernard in Region 4. Stinnett, West Texas will put their 11-0 record on the line against Hawley, and Klondike and Motley County in the 6-man ranks. What catches your eye?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to deny that North Shore and Ridge Point is a big one, but I'm super excited for that Poth and East Bernard game. Just big clash in styles, hard-hitting football. I'm got my eye on that one.
Physical, absolutely. I want to remind you to stay tuned to TexasFootball.com and all the Dave Campbell's Texas football channels, because we've got tons of great stuff coming up this week, including Monday Morning Fallout's back. Myself, if you just need more of Pickle and I sitting at the desk.
Yeah, it's Sunday. We'll be back here again on Monday doing
tomorrow.
This exact same
We'll be
thing.
back tomorrow. It's the Lord's Day right now. Go to church. It's Texas Football Today, Monday Morning Fallout Edition. We will overreact to everything from the first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. That's live at noon. And then Wednesday, the picks. I will predict all 176 UIL Texas High School Football Playoff games, whether our producer Sam Moore wants us to or not.
Do you ever stop talking?
I really don't. I really don't.
The Tepper Yap Hour.
TexasFootball.com/playoffs to check out everything you need, including updated brackets and second round pairings for the playoffs. That is going to do it for us on a very brief episode of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. We so appreciate you spending part of your Saturday night into Sunday morning with us. For our producer, V&A Moreno and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you next week for Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight.